I'm excited to introduce you to 3 new inking products available at 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. Now we sell cardstock and specialty papers in all the colors, but we also sell ink pads, and we're trying to kind of gather a few things that you might need in addition to cardstock. As you're buying cardstock, you can just add them to your cart and have everything you need for a project. So we've got 3 new inking tools. Let me show you these one by one. The first product is a fine detail inking tool. It comes in 3 colors, gold, rose gold, and silver, so you can choose whichever color you like. And then along with your inking tool, you get a set of pom-poms in 2 sizes. And the way this works is you grab one of the little pom-poms, and there's 2 sizes. There's super tiny and then a little bit bigger. And you clip this into the end of your clip, and it basically creates a tiny little blending brush. So when you're inking really small pieces, or maybe just trying to get in the corners of larger pieces, these are awesome. So you just go ahead and dip it right in your ink, and then you can just lightly brush it along the edge of your little tiny cardstock pieces. So if you're into like paper piecing, where you're layering lots of little pieces on top of each other, making characters or designs, landscapes, this is great because it allows you to just get complete control over little tiny inking projects. So you can see how easy that is with this little tool. And then when you're ready to change colors, all you do is just slide this out. You can throw them away or store them with your ink pad and put in a new color. So these are the fine detail inking handles, and it's $5.99 for 1 handle and 2 baggies of pom-poms. So that is the first new product. Next, we have sponge daubers in our signature turquoise color. So if you're a fan of 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop, now you can be a super fan and have sponge daubers in our logo color. And these are just finger daubers. So they slide right on the end of your finger, and you use these similar to how you use the fine detail handle, but these are for bigger projects. So it's actually a sponge, if you can see that. It's just a rounded sponge. And same thing, you just dip this in your ink pad, get some ink on them, and then you just can use it to run along the edges of your paper. So you can see for bigger projects, this is much easier to use because it goes faster. You can also use it if you're doing big blending projects. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper. You can also use it this way, where you blend in from the sides for blending. If you're wanting to get your ink in just a little deeper on your cardstock, you can use it that way. And then the other thing it's great for is stencils. So if you've got a stencil here, let me have a piece of cardstock, and if I wanted to stencil this design, these work well with stencils too. You just kind of apply your ink through that stencil holes. Just like that. And then you would just wipe the ink off your stencil, and you have your stencil design underneath. So again, those are sponge daubers. They come in sets of 5, and they're inexpensive enough that you can just grab a bunch of them. And then I like to kind of just store them with my ink pads so that I know, okay, this one goes with this ink pad. And then you can just have one for every color that you're using, or every color family. Okay, so those are the sponge daubers. And then last but not least, we have our round bristle brushes. These are sold in a set of 3. And where the sponge daubers are actually sponges, these are actually bristles. So it just totally depends on your preference, whether you like to work with sponges or you like the bristle better. But these are also blending, so you use them similarly to the sponge daubers. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab my ink color, and then I would just like gently rub the edge of this in my ink, and then I can use it same way just to apply ink to the edges. If I'm trying to do just, you know, tighter on the edge like this, you do it this way, or you can do it similar to the other where you just kind of blend in from the edge and get your ink on your cardstock. So either way, it works great. It's just a preference of which you prefer, sponges or the handled brushes. These also work for stencils, so let's just do this stencil right here. You can blend to multiple colors even if you wanted. And then you can see how well that works. All right, so those are our 3 new products. We've got our fine detail inking handle and pom-poms. We've got our rounded bristle brushes, and we've got our sponge daubers. So choose whichever works best for your type of inking and whatever projects you're working on. These are available now at 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop.